Waffle House is going to increase the minimum wage. But here comes the other part. To $3 an hour. This is big change? Apparently so. It's happening at Waffle House. They're raising their minimum wage to a whopping $3 an hour. How can they possibly afford to do that? Well, this comes after what they call 5 years of planning. It took you 5 years to get to $3. My God. I'm thinking this is straight out the Onion spoof paper.
They're
I know our
perfectionists. It just took time.
is fantastic. They don't make mistakes. They'll say, oh, well, we said, they don't make mistakes. I'm telling you that. But I do want them, if they could just give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Did you check the Onion? Did you check spoof papers? Is this a real story? They're saying it is. 5 years of planning to get the $3. Waffle House, explain yourself. Explain yourself. Company will set the new floor for base pay this month, gradually increasing it to a minimum of $5.25 per hour by June 2026, when you've already been evicted from your apartment. Okay?
What you gonna do with an extra $2?
Nothing.
Right. You can't even buy a bottle of water with $2.
And you can't go across the street to the fast food place and get a meal for that price. Okay? CEO Joe Rogers III announced in a video to employees he had the nerve to do it on camera. Who was advising you, CEO Rogers? Largest investment? Where are they investing before is the question. Rogers called the move the single largest additional investment in our workforce in the entire 68-year history of Waffle House. Wow. The federal minimum wage. He shouldn't have said that. It's as if it's the only one they did in nearly 7 decades. Federal minimum wage in 2025 is set to hit $15 per hour. Tipped employees, though, why are we letting them get away with this? They're often not covered by that figure.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
I'd rather take no tips and just give me the straight up minimum wage, federal minimum wage. Base pay is just a part of worker salary at Waffle House. Tips are on top of that. And the company ensured its workers that there would be no tip sharing or tip pooling as part of the new compensation. Each worker would keep the tips they earn. I think before they had to probably share it with the manager and everyone else. You know, Gerald, who sits over there and doesn't do his share of the work. They all got a share of a few pennies that were there. Fortune with the details on this one. Workers who have spent 3 years or more with Waffle House are eligible for the tenure bonus, which initially adds 50 cents per hour to their salary. Workers who have booked more than 30 years with the company earn, drum roll please, an extra $3.20 per hour, about $1.06 per decade. Look how great we are.
30 plus years.
House, 30 plus years. And you put this on video. Base rates, the company says, will rise over time with 3 different categories by June 2026. One will have a base of $5.25 per hour. Another will hit $6.25 by February 2027. And a third will grow to $7.25 by June 2027, not even half the federal minimum wage, $15. Now, to pay for the higher wages, what's Waffle House going to do? Oh, will they take less profit? What will they do? Well, they're going to increase the menu prices, which means people are going to tip less. I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to make it up somehow. Employees are getting closer to 1 hour of pay being worth 1 waffle. Would you like your pay dollars or 1 waffle? Well, hell, I might take the waffle and mark it up at a premium and sell it elsewhere. Okay? I don't know what else to tell you. Would you like your pay in a waffle? Or
hey, you probably eat more, get to eat more like that.
How about it? How about it? I don't know how to respond to this, Jackson, but the company is apparently serious. The team, did not pull this out of the onion. This is a real story. Waffle House is touting this as groundbreaking. What do you have? Can we shake them into reality?
Nah, probably not. I mean, Waffle House is Waffle House is cheap. I mean, at the end of the day, like, there's issues with federal minimum wage laws. As I mentioned to you before, I used to work at Jimmy John's, and they dropped. The pay was at $7.25, and then they dropped it to $3. It was maybe $3.50 because you get tipped and stuff. So you'll see this in a variety of restaurants all over the country where the minimum wage will be $2 and something, $3, $4, $5 or something. But they probably could have kept this to themselves, or not that they would have had to let people know, but they made a big announcement in a big video, like, oh boy, you get an extra 50 cents.
Where they're doing it.
Now, when I think of Waffle House, I think of like World Star hip hop fights. And then you remember that Waffle House video where like there was a chair thrown and the woman caught the chair with one arm?
That's right.
That's what I think of when I think of
rivaled that dock fight where he threw the hat. They really had some epic ones.
Yeah.
You're right about that. But people may not want to even, lace them up and get ready to rumble for this price.
Yeah,
okay.
No.
Well, how is it even worth it? It doesn't even buy you 1 hour, one waffle, Jackson. And what if you want some berries or something on it? Now you're at a deficit. I'll give you the last word, but I think if I go, my daughter used to love Waffle House. I always try to be a good tipper, an extra tipper, but I had no idea it was like this.
Well, I mean, it's hard. It's a rough economy. Everything's super expensive. People are drowning in debt, whether that be medical debt, student loan debt, credit debt of various kinds, because they took out massive loans for the homes that they're in. I mean, you name it. So this is just a reflection of that. And things keep getting more expensive, and pay and wages are not keeping up. I don't know how anybody's supposed to survive off of this, especially you've been with the company I'm 32 years old. So like you've been with the company for 30 plus years, and what was it? A $3.30, 50
$3.20.
Like, I mean, what are you going to do with that? But that's like a bottle of water, $3.20 now. That's not even a gallon of gas, so it's an unfortunate situation, and the reality that people live. People work very, very hard at these jobs, and they barely getting paid anything.
It's terrible. And if you buy that bottle of water at the airport, you're split it with your entire family. You
right,
can't,
exactly.
you're not going to.
This is the survival bottle.
That's what it is. I'm hoping maybe Shaq can take it over. It seems his companies do well, and maybe he'll be a little more generous to the employees.